pass up on it. My daughters are getting up there in age to where they brought their boyfriends along, and I don't know how many of these times where I could actually spend time with them, and I'm still the cool dad, so I took full advantage of that today. I missed most of the game. I caught up on it in the last hour while we were having dinner, so I'm up to speed on what happened today. So hey, I go to freaking the water park and they get the dub today, so they avoid the sweep today against the Tampa Bay Rays, who have just beat their ass for the most part this season. Michael Gibby checks in on Facebook, says, thank God that can they at least get the split with the Yankees. He's hoping for 2 out of 4. That's the next series. The Angels go up against the Yankees. As I get into what happened today, Tony Watson picked up the W in relief. The Angels were actually down in this game before rallying, scoring a few runs late, and then tying the game up, getting Sandoval off the hook, who pitched pretty decent today, 6 runs. Or 6 innings, or 5 innings, sorry. Mike Myers pitched an inning in 2/3. He had 8 strikeouts. Sandoval continues his good pitching, 95 pitches, though, however, in 5 innings. He'd like to maximize that a little bit more, pitch a couple more innings if you're going to throw that many pitches. But his ERA is still at a 3.89 despite giving up 3 runs. He only had 2 walks but had the 6 strikeouts, I'm sorry. And then Mike Myers had 3 strikeouts in his innings in 2/3, but surrendered a run and a walk. But Watson had a clean inning, and so did Iglesias, along with 2 strikeouts. And that was after Phil Gosselin hit an absolute mammoth shot to left field to give the Angels a lead in the 8th inning, 5-4. And then Shohei Ohtani. I mean, what more can be said with this guy with the home run in the 9th inning to put some insurance on it? But he had 3 hits today. He came a single shy of the cycle, I believe. So 3 of 4 today, 3 RBIs. He's up to 277, and he's carrying this team. I mean, plain and simple, he's carrying this team. You can't say enough about this guy. He's got 25 home runs already this season, and we haven't hit the All-Star break, and I'm thinking that by the time the break comes, he could have 30 home runs by then. And that's incredible because I will be completely wrong in my prediction for the season. I thought that Ohtani would hit between 25 and 30 for the season. And he might hit 30 right at the freaking All-Star break. So you're talking about if he doesn't funk up his swing with a home run derby, he has a legitimate shot to reach 50. And not likely, but he has a legitimate shot to hit it. And if not, maybe 43, 45 home runs for a guy his age and a two-way player, and most likely he's going to rack up some wins in the second half of the season. So he might be, by the All-Star break, maybe have 5 or 6 wins, hopefully, more like 5 wins. And then if anything pushes forward in the second half of the season, they need some wins, he gives them maybe 7 more. You're talking about a guy who will win 12 games, double-digit wins as a starting pitcher, most likely with an ERA under 3, and then also hitting almost 50 home runs. How can you not give that to him as an MVP? How can you not give him the most valuable player? I don't care if the Angels finish 4th or 5th this year, or God forbid they hit 5th place, but let's just say they finish 3rd or 4th. You still got to give it to him. I don't care. I mean, nobody's done this since Babe Ruth, and even Babe Ruth didn't put up those kind of numbers. So, yeah, I have to say that right now, Shohei, it's his prize to, or his award to lose if he wants to. But I'm pretty sure he's gonna freaking, get the award. I'm really sure of that. So as everyone checks in again, I'm sorry I was late today. Went to the water park and whatnot. So let's see. Ace says good to get a win again because it was going to be a long weekend if they didn't. And there's just been a lot of people just upset and frustrated with the Angels, and rightfully so. We all show our frustrations in different ways. It's just we just wish this team would just show more, at least fight. If you're going to go down, go out with a fight. And a lot of times in these losses, they really haven't done the things to get the wins, or even done the things to even stay competitive. They don't look competitive, but today they looked very competitive. So good on the Angels getting the win. Nancy checks in with MVP, and that's exactly what he should be able to get. And just think if Trout was here, they'd be battling it out for the MVP all year long. But even then, Ohtani has to get it. You know, I mean, we've seen the same song and dance with Trout, not downplaying what he can do and what he has done, but Ohtani's doing something that we've never seen in my generation or others. So I'm excited. Make the trade line date. Chase says, make the trade deadline show announcement, Todd. And here's what's going to happen. Tell your friends or whoever's involved and loves baseball and loves the X's and O's coming to, about baseball. We are going to have the ins and outs of every trade and every signing or whatever they try to do during the deadline, or who gets traded, who doesn't, basically. Chase and Andrew, the new hosts for our midweek show, which we do the MLB around the MLB show, they are going to get on there and talk about the trades on the trade deadline day, and they're going to be on there for a full 3 hours. So if you guys want to check it out, it's going to be live on that Saturday of the trade deadline, and there's going to be a heck of a lot of good information being given. These guys do their homework, and so it's going to be an exciting show. I might even jump on there for a few minutes. Nancy's saying I'm cutting in and out. I don't really see it on here too much, so let me know if which platform I'm. She says I'm Facebook. Hopefully that gets figured out, but right now I'm so good here. Keith says I will never hear the end of it from my brother if the Yankees beat us. You know, the Yankee fans haven't been able to talk too much about the Angels, recently or even in the past. The Angels have always had their number, which is good to know. Rally Chris says he predicted 2 out of 3 losses, so he got that one right, unfortunately. I know he didn't want to be right on that one. And hopefully the Angels get a good, do their job against the Yankees. I know the Yankees got some good pitching coming. We got Dylan Bundy. We got Andrew Heaney in that rotation for that series, so hopefully those guys can turn it around from their past starts and get the victories. Let's see, going down here again, Chase says also, so really putting the team on his show is really putting the team on his back, and he is. He's doing what Trout did the last couple seasons, and you know what? He's doing it with a smile. You have to love the fact that Shohei Ohtani is going out there. He's not showing his frustration. He's not showing the fact that maybe he's, inside he's upset that they're losing. We know he's a competitor. We know that he gets fired up, but he's doing his best to fire the team up around him. He's pointing to the dugout. He's smiling a lot. He's joking around with the opposing players. He was chatting it up with G-Man Choi at first base. It's good to see. Collective unit, we haven't been able to say that. But with Ohtani, no one's been able to talk about his morale at all. Ohtani's just been like, hey, I got to do my job. I got to help the team win, but I'm having a good time at it. And that's refreshing to see. So we hope that continues. Let's see. Kobe says, or this is Rally Chris saying, Angels own the Yankees. We're taking 3 out of 4. Fernando says, book it. So both him and Fernando are on, on board with that. Chase also says it's cool and breezy on a Sunday. Yeah, it's a beautiful Sunday this afternoon. Jaime says, are these are their boyfriends Angels fans? If not, cut them. LOL. Here's the thing. Okay, I got by one of them as a Steelers fan. I'm like, Steelers fan, all right, whatever. And he's really not into baseball, so I'm okay. I'm like, as long as you're not a Dodger fan. And then the other one is an Angels fan, so I'm like, okay, that you guys are pass. And they're pretty good to them, so yeah. I can't kill them too much, but I got my eye on them for sure. Jaime says, can they forfeit tomorrow with Bundy on the mound so that we don't use the bullpen? Bundy has to give us more than 5 innings tomorrow. I really feel, and it's tough because you're asking a pitcher who's had a hard time keeping the ball in the playing field, and he's going to a place where it's the easiest in all of baseball to hit home runs. That stadium is super easy, just as easy, if not more than it was in the prior Yankee Stadium with the house that Babe Ruth built. That park was like 315 to each side, and it was real easy to pull the ball and just hit it out, almost like a pop-up, and you hit a walk-off. And in the new Yankee Stadium with outside of center field, that place is a bandbox to hit home runs. So I'm just hoping for the best. Chase also says, Sandy looked good under Texas right now. You'd probably be thinking about a team that looks like Arizona right now. You'd probably a good size right now and a good number, probably leading the league, sort of what Trout does because, like he said, take him away and forget it. Let's see. Sketch says he has been played before in Baltimore, or he played there before in Baltimore, though, and that's true. But I just, the way he's been pitching lately, that's the only problem. In New York, and then the way he's been playing, surrendering a lot of home runs, keeping the ball up on 0-2 counts. He's misfired a lot. He's got the stuff to be a solid pitcher, but he's been very inconsistent, just like any of the other pitchers we have. Yeah, I know he's pitched in the AL East before, but this is a different different Al Bundy, different Dylan Bundy. So we'll have to see what happens with him because he has not pitched good like he did last year. Fast Times, my boy says, Randy says, "Hey man, we won, yay!" Chase says, "How about the Goose when he left and Renifo when he left Renifo out? Oh, when he left and Renifo out. I don't know what if Goose left the game. I don't know. I don't have any update on that." Like I said, I caught most of the game, but I probably missed that. For some reason, I'm a little fuzzy right there. Let's see. To the Rays' credit, they adjusted to Sandy's slider the second time through the lineup. Ace says, "Yeah, they did, and he threw a lot more pitches. He wasn't able to get swings and misses. And Tampa's a free swinging team, and they to their credit, I agree. When a team can adjust to a pitcher mid-game, I give them a lot of credit because that's what the Angels don't do. That's what we've been wanting them to do. So, it's maybe they can learn something from Tampa." The Angels' grandma says, "I love Shohei Ohtani." Shohei Ohtani love. Yeah, you know what? This guy has endured himself into all Angel fans' hearts right now. Just look at the way that the fans travel to see him. Other cities come out to see him that would normally not go to a baseball game, knowing the fact that Shohei Ohtani's there. Sort of like what they used to do with Trout. Now imagine if the thing is, if Trout were healthy and you had Walshy doing his thing, and if Upton was healthy, and then you bring in Shohei. I mean, this is a real hot ticket now. The Angels can probably draw really good on the road. So this is something that Shohei is an international superstar, and for him to be playing with the Angels it still blows my mind. It's getting a lot of love, and they're probably selling so many jerseys overseas just for the fact that he's on the Angels. And it's good to see because that can help fans to be, when Shohei does leave, there was a lot of Asians that stayed when Matsui left. They became Angel fans because Hideki Matsui was here. And, when he left, those fans, for the most part, remained loyal to the Angels, just like they were loyal to the Yankees, the ones that stayed and followed his career with the Yankees. So same thing can happen here with Ohtani, especially if he stays here for a long time. You're going to have overseas fans, and that's the thing that Artie should take advantage of. Not saying that he has to bring more international players in, just the fact that you can cater to Japan like he's done with some of the the merchandising, or say for instance the advertising. You've seen Japan Air in the background sometimes. But just the fact that they can market him and market the rest of the team too. So if you're going to be marketing Shohei over to Japan, market Mike Trout, market Jared Walsh, market Justin Upton, make them international superstars too. Make them have them take pictures with Shohei, you know what I mean? And make them buddy. That way they could say, hey man, it's not just Shohei's team, it's everyone else's team. That's just my idea. So let's see. Also sketchy Chase puts Goose in left field and Renifo to the bench. I didn't see that when that happened, or he's saying that. Oh, he's saying probably to put Goose in and take Renifo out and put him on the bench. Goose has been solid. I really didn't put too much credit into him signing late in the off season, but he's been really legit. He's still batting around 270, 280. Whenever he's given the opportunity to play, he goes and gives it his all, gets out there, gets big hits, gets on base. And, maybe he has to keep that starting spot for right now until Upton can come back. Jaime says, Ohtani, Detmers, C-Rod, Sandy, that might be a homegrown fearsome foursome in the near future. And it could be because we saw what Detmers did the other night. Ohtani's been pitching great. Just hasn't gotten the wins. C-Rod, we would love to see him take that next step and get into the starting rotation. And then Sandoval has earned his spot. This is 6 straight starts to where I could look at it and maybe he didn't, under the major league rule, get the quality start not going 6 innings. But to me, this was a quality start. And I think he's pitched really, really solid the last 6 games. He's starting to craft his pitches, and then I just like what we're seeing from him. I think the pitching's coming around, but the hitting is fallen off. Let's see. Chase says, need to trade everyone from the rotation except Sandy and Show. That could be a possibility because there could be teams that are looking for a starter, a spot starter, or a good middle relief guy, and maybe Dylan Bundy, maybe Quintana, maybe Andrew Heaney come to mind, and maybe even Cobb. I think Cobb right now has more upside to get traded faster. And I think Heaney would be kind of there too, like a number 2 guy to get traded out of here. But I think people are a little leery of the fact that he's in the last, they don't want to rent him per se. I think if he had another year of control or so, I think he'd be a hotter pitcher to get than Cobb right now. But Cobb's established. I think that's why Cobb has a better resume than Heaney, and that's why I think he would go pretty fast. Jaime says Babe Ruth played versus butchers and candle makers. What Ohtani is doing is more impressive than Babe Ruth did. And that's true. And that's a great point. He was playing in an era where it was cool to eat pizza 30 minutes before the game or even during a game. They were able to smoke. Some of these guys were, having sex during the games. Maybe that's happening now too, but I'm just saying a lot of these guys weren't in the best of shape. Abs weren't really a normal thing for most players. And these guys were, again, playing with no sabermetrics. They weren't playing with any analytics. They weren't playing with any kind of like Easton or not Easton, but just like the best bats in the world. They weren't playing with, any of this stuff, right? Replay, none of that. The best training, the best trainers. The fact is, Ohtani's doing it, like Jaime said, against the best people, against the best technology. And that is quite impressive. That is quite impressive on many, many levels. Maybe salad, though, or maybe salad, too. We better beat the Yankees, Fast Time says. Jaime also says, what does the July schedule look like? I know we start with lowly Baltimore. Are there more sub-500 teams after that? No, not really. Let's see. I can get into the schedule real quick here. I'll switch over to that. And by the way, we're doing the trucker hat giveaway too. So we have 2 hats to give away because I screwed up on Wednesday. I was so pissed. I just did not get into any of the trivia stuff. So look for that in about maybe 15 minutes or so. Let's see. We got the Yankees for 4. And then we start July with Baltimore 3 at home. And then we got 3 against Boston. And then we have 3 against Seattle, and then it's the All-Star break. And then after that, we return against Seattle in the second half, and we start playing Oakland and some other cheaper teams come August. August is actually a good month. It's a lot of lowly teams in August, so if we can get there, then we'll be fine. Anyone else have a frozen feed? Oh, sorry, my bad. Right there, I froze. I don't know what's going on. Should have perfect internet. I have like the 500 upload and 500 downloads, so I don't know what the hell's going on. Let's see. Might as well be Al Bundy, Fast Time says. From whoa Bundy to no Bundy. That's true. I've always known that Al Bundy and Dylan Bundy were related. And yeah, one scored 4 touchdowns one time in a high school football game, and I guess one struck out or lost 7 games in this season. I can't believe Ohtani is turning 27 on July 5th, right? We got him when he was, I think, 23 or 24 years old, and I don't want to waste years of this guy either. I don't want to be sitting here 5 years from now at 32 being like, damn, we got to get Ohtani to the playoffs. I would love to see this happen this year. Looking doubtful as we move forward, but maybe next year we can say that and get Trout and Ohtani back. He says, damn, I missed half of the show. Fernando checking in right now. King Sandoval is a stud. Jaime says, best thing about Sandy is that he cares, and they give up the lead. He was disappointed, unlike Heaney. And that's true. You see actual emotion from this guy. You actually saw one of those where, he was shaking his head when they blew his game the last time or gave up a couple runs. He does care. He wants to be up here. And these are the type of players that you want on the organization, you want on the major league roster, because they're going to fire up the rest of the players. This team needs an injection of young players, and they also need the injection of players who give a shit and that want to come in here and boss other players around, not in a bad way, but a good way, to get them to take the extra time in the weight room and take the extra time to work on their craft and hit the batting cages, get there a little early, and take this job serious. Not just because you're in the majors, you get a free pass. You know what I mean? Let's see. Chase checks in with it's fine on my end. Speaking of Detmers, he had 16 strikeouts last night, broke the record of 14 Ks that he had in his last start. We'll probably see Detmers this year at some point, and that was Rally Chris. And yes, Rally Chris, he's going to be up here sooner than later. Where the guy is just pitching really good like that, you want to see what he can do. Fernando says Detmir, Sandoval, Otani could be one hell of a three-headed monster. We talked about that in July. Fernando's talking about the schedule. That's on our latest one. Not too many 500-plus teams that are there. Ben says, what's up good to Fernando. And then August 3rd, games against Baltimore. That's the Baltimore series. And then Grillmaster checks in with, I'm at the glasses store, so I missed a lot. Stupid. Ryan says, I really don't care or think that we are sellers at the break. I think only moves we see are small ones like Wong, but I don't think we will move starting pitching. That could be too. There's just a lot to digest when it comes to the deadline. It's going to come down to how many teams are actually starving for the pitching, and they actually look at the Angels and we're like, hey, we didn't get what we wanted with other teams. Let's go to the secondary teams, and the Angels would probably fall into that category, and then Perry would have to say, are these guys worth holding on to, or they're going to be just gone at the end of the year anyway, and let's see what we can get for them and just go with the youth movement. And then either go into the offseason saying, okay, we're going to revamp this pitching rotation via trade, or we're going to revamp this pitching rotation via free agency, or just do both. So right now we don't know what Perry's doing because no one cares to ask Perry what they're doing. And who knows if we had a responsible reporter in the organization or outside the organization, or for one of these newspaper companies, when they were newspapers, actually gave a damn and asked a question, would Perry even say, or, is he a guy that's going to hold the cards to his chest and not say anything? Or is he just waiting for someone to ask him a question and nobody's doing it? So that's the whole point. We just don't know what the Angels are going to do. We don't know who they're in the hunt for. And like I've said before, maybe that's a good thing because, Epler was always first to tell you, he would walk down, there'd be a homeless man on the street and he'd wake him up from his sleep while he's sleeping on his jacket and say, hey, guess what? We're interested in Cole, in Garrett Cole. And then the homeless man's like, leave me alone. He's like, no, for real. I'm letting you know. That's how Epler was. He'd tell anybody and your mama. But it seems to me that just Perry's just tighten it to himself, and also we don't have a real good press that actually ask anybody on the Angels any kind of relevant questions. So even if he would douse it out and tell us what we're up to, he's not going to do it because we don't have any reporters that'll do it. So it's just a wait and see on our end. But for me, I would be more inclined if I have to guess what Perry's going to do. He's going to unload some of these pitchers if we stay 7 to 8 games or more out of the wild card, because right now the division doesn't matter. The division does not matter. I don't see us catching up against two teams that are 10 to 11 games up on us. It's just not going to happen. But as far as a wild card, there's always a chance that these teams will fall off. The problem is if you keep losing, you keep falling behind all these other teams. You're like 4 to 5 teams under, and then you have to jump them just to get to the top 2. So that's looking unlikely right now. The percentage is dropping as we move forward. I hate to say it, but I'm just being real. And I want the Angels to make that postseason run. I want them to go on a magical run. It can happen. But for the first time all year, since week 1 of the season, they need to play like week 1 of the season. Going into week 2, when they were 7-3, that's the kind of Angel team that can get back into this race. That's the kind of team that had all the chemistry, that had all the pitching and timely hitting, and they weren't all swinging for the fences. And that was fun baseball. I think everybody had no problems with the first 1 to 2 weeks of the season because they played like a team and they were firing on all cylinders. They have not played like that since at all. If they're able to put it together at some point this season, like they did in the first 2 weeks, you could see a dramatic turnaround. I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility, but it's just getting weaker as we move on. So something's got to happen. I hope it does. But if we stay where we're at and get worse, look for guys like Heaney, Bundy, Quintana, Cobb to be all gone. And the Angels just try to get as much as they can for them because there's no sense letting them play out the season and they're going to walk anyway. You might as well get something for them. All right, let me get back to a couple of these comments real quick. Let's see. Rally Chris said 3 out of 4 against the Yankees. Say we split. What's your prediction with the Yankees? I say split 2 out of 4. I usually would be more optimistic and say 3 out of 4. But I got to see these guys put it together a little bit better. I do know they play the Yankees tough. I don't think we're going to get blown out. I just think we're going to play a good baseball with the Yankees. Might drop one late by giving up a couple extra runs, putting it out, like losing like an 8-4 game, and then I see them losing a close one 6-5, but I see them winning like a 4-0 and maybe a 7-4 type game. The Yankees aren't the big bad Yankees. Yes, they swing for the home runs a lot, but if the Angels can keep the ball down and the strike zone in check and adjust to these Yankees pitchers or hitters, they should win. Chris Swanky says Otani to save the damn day, Jesus Christ. It's going to be a rough this week if he has to save the team time in and time out, he's saying. James says it's a split. Ryan also says, I think teams would be more interested if our guys at Salt Lake a lot more than Utah right now. But see, the thing is, the Angels aren't going to get rid of these guys from Salt Lake. This is the future, man. They're going to hold on to these guys. You better hope for a 20-game win streak if you ever want to sniff the division. That's true. You need to win 20, and the other team needs to drop 10 in a row. I'm really concerned about Adele's strikeouts. He continues to swing for the fences every game. I have no idea why the coaching staff doesn't teach him to shorten his swing, especially with 2 strikes. I have no idea either. It seems to me that we have the same kind of hitting coaches down on the farm that we have up here. And here's something that shocked me. Maybe this is something that I didn't pay attention to, but me and Fernando were doing a show that we'll talk about later. But we were doing a show the other night, and it just came up that Paul Sereno's been a hitting coach for the Angels since the days of Socha. And I'm like, wow, this guy's had a job this long. No wonder why this team has been low in walks for so many years, towards the bottom with walks, and they've been towards the top in strikeouts because Paul Sereno. Maybe our good luck charm is you being at the water park. Do they sell season passes? Yes, they do, actually, but I don't think I can handle going every goddamn day. There's too many kids there. I believe everything you just said with the injuries the Angels have. I don't see them making the postseason or via the wild card this season. Angels trade those starters. Feels like they lost the season in the ceiling 80 wins to finish the season. And if they got 80 wins at this point, it would actually be kind of refreshing. We've seen an 80 and 82 Angels season not too long ago. But given everything they've done and given the big-time hole they've built for themselves, I think getting to 80 wins might actually be a good thing. Let's do some trucker hat trivia, shall we? And I got 2 questions to ask you guys and girls out there. And if you guys want to win one of these trucker hats, one that I'm wearing right now or one that I got right here, I ordered the other 2 styles. So hopefully they'll be here sometime next week, and you guys will have 4 options of hats. And then we'll start giving away some jerseys here too pretty soon as well. So I have 2 questions, okay? See if you guys can get it. And these aren't the easiest ones, but I will throw them out there and let's see what you guys can do with them. One goes with someone related to Rally Chris, and that is the actual Rally Monkey. Does anybody know the name of the Rally Monkey? And if you can't get that one, I'll throw out like a multiple choice, and then maybe you guys can guess the name. So if you guys don't know the Rally Monkey's name, first one to get it gets the hat. Let's see if you guys can do that. It's going to be, what do you call it? The Rally Monkey's real name. So if you guys know the Rally Monkey's real name, it's not Rally Chris. Rally Chris is our Rally Monkey. But the Angels have a Rally Monkey. What is the monkey's name? If you can guess that one. If you have trouble guessing the name, like I said, I'll give you a multiple choice. And the first one that gets it, like I said, gets the hat. A couple more comments right now. Ryan says, I don't think they will trade from AAA, but I don't think they are starters that will be able to return soon. Marcel is not the name. No, it's not. And Paul Sereno, Ace says, has been with the team since 2015. And that is hard to believe, by the way, with as terrible as the hitting has been over the years. Hank Hill, James says, no. That's right. Paul Sereno replaced Mike Butcher. Mike Butcher was the pitching coach, Matt. I forget who Sereno. Let's see. Nats fan says George. No, not George. Let's see. Not Marcel. Let's see if you guys can get this one, because the real answer, and this is the one I'm pulling from a website. Okay, so if you guys think it's one of the one that Ace said, it's not Marcel. We're talking about the Rally Monkey. I have 4 names that aren't Marcel. It's not Sam. Oh, Rally Chris got it. Rally Chris got it. It is Katie. So Katie is the name. The white-haired Capuchin monkey. She appeared as Marcel on the TV series Friends. So you guys were right that she was Marcel on the TV series Friends, but the real name of the rally monkey is Katie. So that's where you guys were probably thrown off right there. But yeah, you guys. So Ace was technically right if we were talking about Friends. So here's the second question. So congratulations right there on Rally Chris. He gets it's fitting he wins the Rally Monkey hat, right? So here's the second question right here. This one might be a little bit easier. Let's see who gets this one first. Who was the youngest player in MLB history to reach 100 home runs and 100 stolen bases? Let's see if we get. Hopefully, this will be the last week that we'll have just the 2 options. We'll have 4 options for you to pick new hats. And then, like I said, we'll have a jersey thing coming up here soon. So, fastest player and youngest player to reach 100 home runs and 100 stolen bases. Let's see who can get this one. I'm still waiting. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Come on. I gotta get some guesses here, people. There you go. Ryan's got it right off the bat. Right off the freaking bat. Mike Trout. So Ryan, dangerous middle name, gets it. He was 23 years old. Ace says Barry Bonds. Matt Bedingo says Suzuki. No, but Trout was 23 years old and 253 days old when he reached the milestone April 17, 2015, passing the previous record holder of Alex Rodriguez, who achieved it at 23 years old and 309 days in 1999. So it was Mike Trout. So Ryan, you get to pick out your hat as well as Rally Chris. You guys just mention me. Or not mention me, DM me, and with your address or whatnot, and I will have these out to you guys tomorrow morning. And you should have them if you live locally here in California, then within the next day or 2 at worst. So you have those right there. Ace says my feed froze. Damn, dude, that's like twice. I don't understand. Like I swear to God, I have like the best internet. You have to have it doing a show like this or doing the podcast that we do. So I don't know why it's not working that good here on Instagram. That's weird. I apologize for that because that's the second time this has happened. We've pretty much gone error-free for most of the season if you guys have been watching. James says A-Rod sucks anyway. You know what? Probably, what's her name? Jennifer Lopez will probably back you up on that one lately. Boy, that chick's gone. She has more rings than freaking Tom Brady right now. That chick is cleaning up. Let's see. Jaime says, those hats are sweet. You won't be disappointed. My dad took my white one and refused to give it back. Let's see. Tabora said the same thing with her. Mapadingo says, I was talking Ichiro Suzuki. Oh, my bad. I thought you were making a move for Kurt Suzuki. I'm like, nah, dude. That's way off. But that's actually not a bad guess, though, Matt. Well, all things considered, except Suzuki was, I think, a little bit older when he came over here to play in the American League and as far as Major League Baseball. So, with that being said, those are your hat giveaways. We try to do those every Sunday and Wednesday. We gave away 2 today, and I appreciate you guys checking in with that and playing along with the trivia. Put the word out that we do this here. And then also we're going to have, like I said, jerseys this month coming. I'll let you know soon. We've just been doing a lot of stuff with the merchandise on Redbubble. If you want to check that out, we have that stuff there. That gets all invested back into the show and with what we're doing here too. So we're trying to promote. There's a lot of big things coming up. And look ahead for our podcast on Wednesday around the MLB. If you guys want to hear about other stories going on outside of Angels baseball, that's the show to listen to with Chase and Andrew. They do a really good job right there. We're also going to bring James in from time to time or when he's feeling better to go full time as well. So we're going to have 3 good minds on there, and probably James is going to give some trivia on that show as well. And then me and Fernando do a show right now twice a week until we can get another person in too, or we're just going to stick with that. And it's working out pretty good. Check out the podcast, like and subscribe. It helps us out big time. Like I said, we're just trying to grow this network along with you guys. And hey, if the Angels can win, it would make our jobs and your fandom a lot better. And we're pulling for this team to turn things around and start playing like the first week or two of the season on a consistent run, not just win 6 games against bad teams and then get swept by a good team. We want to just, if we can't sweep a good team, let's take 2 out of 3. Let's win those series and keep pushing forward and not worrying about whatever happens ahead of us with the other teams. Handle what's in front of us and what we can take care of, what the team can take care of. And that's whoever's opposing us on the same field, the same day that we're playing. As fans, it's easy to look ahead in the schedule. It's easy to look towards, who we're going to be playing and the developing matchups and who's winning in the standings, the wild card, whatever. But we want this team to be successful. They literally got to take it one game at a time, one series at a time, and maybe, just maybe, if they can put it together, those other teams that are ahead of them will fall back and we could start making noise. And I think that's what it's about. If the Angels can just make some freaking noise, this would be a good summer to enjoy baseball. And that's what we're asking as fans. We're asking for meaningful games in August and September. We're asking, please play better so that we can take our kids, we can take our friends, our family to watch a game together and to cheer and high-five one another and have a great time at the games. We don't want to be going there in September and just being like, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing Detmer start, but we're going to leave after they pull him because we're likely going to blow the game. We don't want to have that mentality, but it's easy to have when the team continues to blow things or just not play competitive. So we're hoping for the best. I'm right there with you. Believe me. I know this team isn't a championship team, but we hope so much that they're just in the mix at the end of the season, and just maybe a miracle can happen and they could sneak into that last wild card and we can actually bring some thunder sticks to the damn stadium instead of paper bags, and we could cheer this team on to hopefully an upset. You know what I mean? So I know it's pipe dreams for a lot of people, but hey, I'd subscribe if we can get those kind of results. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Let me get to a few of these. Let's see. Ryan says, thanks for the hat. I'll wear it with pride. Thanks, my man. Speaking of errors, it was great to see the Rays commit some today. Yeah, Ace, for a minute there, I thought that was a perfect team right there. They don't really make too many errors, so I'm with you on that one. Matt Bedingo says, I think it's because you have Instagram and social media is open. Oh, that could be too. I might have to check on that. Go Angels, about time, Yvette says. Later, Todd, have a good night, and go Halos. All right, man, you have a good night too. And he's going for the Dodgers, LOL. One game at a time. Rally Chris says, it ain't over until August or September. We're going to turn this thing around. We got this. And, yeah, that's a good mindset to have. I'm trying to do the same thing. So let's do this and enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's you still got a few more hours of Sunday to enjoy before we all go back to the grind. So with that being said, thank you for participating today, and tell a friend. Let's blow this page up even more than it has already.